The first thing Ethan Cross noticed when the hotel clerk handed him the key card was the faint tremor in her fingers, the kind that came from knowing you were about to deliver bad news to the wrong person. The kind of person whose name alone could shut down an entire floor of a building. Ethan was used to that reaction. As the founder and CEO of Cross Dominion Holdings, a self-made millionaire before 40, he had walked into boardrooms where conversations died mid-sentence, restaurants where managers rushed forward with forced smiles, and hotels where rules quietly bent in his favor. Tonight should have been no different. He had flown in exhausted after a 16-hour negotiation that had nearly collapsed, his patience worn thin, his mind already counting the hours until he could lock himself away in silence. The suite he'd reserved months ago was supposed to be waiting, top floor, king bed, privacy guaranteed. Instead, the clerk cleared her throat and said the one sentence that instantly soured his mood. "Sir, due to an unexpected system failure and a citywide conference, we've had to make a temporary adjustment." Ethan's jaw tightened. "What kind of adjustment?" he asked, already knowing he wouldn't like the answer. "You'll be sharing the suite tonight," she said softly. The word sharing hit him like an insult. "With whom?" he demanded. "Another guest," she replied. "Just for one night." Ethan let out a short, humorless laugh. "That's not happening." He reached for his phone, ready to call someone, anyone, who could make this problem disappear. But before he could dial, a voice cut through the tension, sharp and unfiltered. "You can put the phone away." "I already tried that." He turned to see her standing there, arms crossed, suitcase at her feet, eyes blazing with a mix of defiance and exhaustion. She wasn't intimidated. That alone annoyed him. She wore no designer labels, no polished facade, just a simple coat, worn boots, and a look that said she'd had a long day and wasn't in the mood for nonsense. "Excuse me," Ethan said coldly. "I'm your nightmare roommate," she replied. "Looks like we're both stuck." Her name, he soon learned, was Lily Harper, a freelance investigative journalist. The irony wasn't lost on him. Of all people to be forced into close quarters with, it had to be someone whose profession revolved around exposing men like him. From the moment they stepped into the suite, tension filled the air like a storm waiting to break. The room was elegant but intimate. One bedroom, one living space, one undeniable problem. "I'll take the bed," Ethan said without hesitation. Lily scoffed. "Like hell you will. I was promised equal accommodation." "I paid for this suite," he snapped. "And I didn't ask to be trapped here with you." "Congratulations," she shot back. "Neither did I." Their words clashed, sharp and unyielding, each sentence revealing more irritation, more judgment. Ethan saw her as reckless, opinionated, and inconvenient. Lily saw him as arrogant, entitled, and exactly the kind of man she'd written a dozen critical pieces about: wealthy, powerful, emotionally distant. They argued over space, over lights, over silence, over everything that didn't really matter, but felt monumental in the moment. Eventually, exhaustion forced a fragile truce. Ethan retreated to the living area, laptop open, pretending to work while actually seething. Lily disappeared into the bathroom, and when she emerged, hair loose, face bare, something shifted just slightly. Not attraction, not yet. Something more dangerous, curiosity. Later, as rain battered the windows and the city lights blurred into 1,000 reflections, the silence between them grew heavy. Lily broke it first. "You always this angry?" she asked quietly. "Or am I special?" Ethan didn't look up. "I don't like chaos." "Funny," she said. "You create a lot of it." That earned her a glance. For a brief second their eyes met, and the air changed. There was history in her gaze, hurt, determination, resilience, not weakness. He didn't know why it unsettled him. He closed his laptop and leaned back. "You think you know me," he said. "I know your reputation," she replied, "and men like you usually live up to it. Men like me, rich, untouchable, afraid of anything real." The words struck deeper than he expected. He stood abruptly. "You don't know anything about me." "Then prove me wrong," she said softly. The challenge lingered between them. Hours passed. Midnight came and went. When the power flickered briefly during the storm, Lily startled, a quiet gasp escaping her. Without thinking, Ethan reached out, steadying her. Their hands touched. The contact was electric, unexpected, intimate. Neither pulled away right away. For a heartbeat, the world narrowed to that single moment, the warmth of skin, the awareness of breath. The tension that had been building all night finally finding focus. Lily looked up at him, her defenses lowered just enough. Ethan felt something crack inside him, something he'd kept sealed for years. When the lights came back on, reality rushed in, but the moment couldn't be undone. They stepped apart, both unsettled, both pretending nothing had happened. "We should sleep," Lily said, voice unsteady. "Yes," Ethan agreed, though he knew sleep would be impossible. As he lay on the couch, staring at the ceiling, one thought repeated in his mind. This woman, the one he couldn't stand, had already begun to change something in him, and he hated how much he wanted to know why. Morning arrived without permission. Pale light slipping through the curtains and landing softly on Ethan Cross's face, pulling him from a restless half-sleep he hadn't realized he'd been trapped in. For a moment he forgot where he was. Then he remembered. The storm. The argument, the accidental touch, and the woman in the next room who had somehow invaded his thoughts more thoroughly than any hostile takeover ever had. He sat up slowly on the couch, rubbing. His eyes, his mind already alert in a way that annoyed him. He didn't wake up thinking about people. He woke up thinking about markets, leverage, control. Yet the first sound he noticed was Lily moving quietly in the bedroom, and the awareness of her presence stirred something uncomfortable in his chest. When she emerged, dressed simply, hair still damp from the shower, she looked nothing like the sharp-tongued adversary from the night before.